step-by-step SEO training course for 2024. How to SEO Web Images. In this video session, we're going to see how we're meant to approach search engine optimization of our images on our website. First rule of image optimization is when the image is related to the web page content, as in our target keywords, and image file names can include target keywords when the image is related. In the video session that was related to how to optimize URL structure, we've seen that image file name itself is actually a URL that Google can evaluate as well. Now, images can have alt attributes as well. Alt attributes on an image tag provides better user experience and as well as accessibility for people who rely on assistive technologies to visit a web page. And for Google rankings, we can include some important keywords in the image alt attribute as well. So now, for 2024, a lot is changing. The new guidelines creating helpful, reliable people-first content means that any resource, whether it's an image file, PDF file, video file, you create for people, right? But how can Google work that out? If you have a website that's established and you do not have unique original images, then you need to change the images, while understanding that you can include important keywords in the image file name. You can use alt attributes, knowing that the text within alt attributes are indexable by Google. Then, if you're using free images that's found on some external website, that must change. Here's the reason. Let's right-click on an image and search image with Google to see what happens. And as you can see, there's so many different websites having the same image. That is not creating people-first content. Because what we've done is we've just grabbed the image from external website and used it on our website. We cannot do that anymore. Let's imagine this sample e-commerce site. Let's right-click, search image with Google. Actually, let's press on the image and then search image with Google. And obviously, this product can be found elsewhere, as in the same image is located elsewhere. Okay. Now we understand the importance of how Google will evaluate website content. Now, if you have a smartphone, which most people do, and let's imagine you're an e-commerce site operator selling a product, then the easiest thing you can do is just use your smartphone to take original images, unique images that Google has not seen elsewhere on internet. Now, if you have access to, Adobe Photoshop, for example, then you can save file and you can play around with settings here. RankYa YouTube channel has a different tutorial that you may reference, okay? So I won't cover that. What I can tell you in terms of image optimization is this. Let's press on F12 on our keyboard and let's hover around the web page element, and here I can work out the content area my web page design, the width of it is only 610 pixels. That means first double check image size. Particularly important for e-commerce sites. Let's take a look at this image here. Let's save it to our local computer so that we can further analyze it. So now that's the image. Let's look at the image size. That's 1200 pixels. Moving forward, a question must be asked by the website owner, as to say, okay, we're living in a mobile first index world for Google rankings. Then people will use many different devices to visit a web page. Then can you find a balance in terms of not losing quality of an image, but also the image file size is not too heavy? So in this scenario, for search engine optimization, for this sample website, I would select image size to 900 pixels, knowing that that's going to not create bad user experience regardless of what type of device a website visitor uses. Now, also, the web page above the fold area is very important, because that's what people see when they land on a particular web page. Now, above the fold area changes for desktop, for laptop, or even mobile devices. Let's press on F12 on our keyboard and let's evaluate different devices. Let's select Galaxy S9. So when someone uses Galaxy S9, this is what they see. Now, the reason I say this is if your web page design has an image in above the fold area, then don't use lazy loading. So double check that. Lazy loading can be utilized for images that is not in above the fold area. Lazy loading on an image that looks like this. Loading lazy. Most content management systems automatically insert loading lazy for below the fold images. If yours doesn't, then you want to make sure you utilize loading lazy. The latest browser technologies also have decoding option, as well as different techniques for image optimization. Let's take a look. We've got the decoding here on HTML image element, and we can also set fetch priority. Now, these are browser hints that you may want to consider using on your images. Also, images should be responsive, because that provides a better user experience. As we can see, resizes regardless of the viewport. Okay, what else can I show you for image optimization? If your business is related to images, perhaps you're a photographer, perhaps you're a wedding photographer, then you can use Windows operating system, right click on the image and explore details. Can you provide additional details here? When it was date taken. So that's a PNG format. Let's imagine it's a JPEG format. Let's right click, properties, you can go in details. As we can see, you can add further details to the image itself. When you utilize this option, remember that image size So the file size will increase. There is also image compression tools available on internet, as well as content management system plugins. If you're using WordPress, there are image compression plugins. I would rather you keep your money in your pocket, because when you follow the best practices, you don't need to compress images using plugins and so on, okay? Because they're not going to make a huge difference in terms of web page load times, because there's other factors that must be optimized. But you can definitely say to yourself, okay, before you upload an image to your website, perhaps you want to change the image file names, sizes, and so on. You can use online tools, but if you have lots of images, you can use programs that allow you to batch process a large amount of images. Let's take this as an example. Let's grab this one here. Let's open, let's see. Once again, I could batch process to save time. And when I analyze the image, I can say, okay, quality, let's say 81%. And look at the size difference. And am I losing quality? Not really. So I can use compression using programs or even online tools. The reason I do not suggest using image compression plugins is because at times it burdens the page load itself. As in, the plugin itself may burden the page load times. Okay, so that's why it's smarter to step back, understand the importance of web images and the latest Google changes, then simply follow the best practices. And if you're uploading new images, then compress them before you upload them, instead of using plugins on the fly, so to speak, okay? And as I've said, you can utilize lazy loading for below the fold images. You can utilize HTML image attributes, such as image element attributes, decoding, fetch priority. I won't explain what they are, because I've provided links to learn more about these latest browser technologies. Now, I get a lot of questions asked regarding image file format. Should I use PNG? Should I use WebP? Should I use JPEG? That depends on the type of images you have. But if the page load times is very important, then WebP images compress better and they are smaller file size. There is many different programs that allow you to convert web images. But one thing that you do not want to do is something like this, because some plugins, they end up doing something like this. Well, if the resource can be located using two different URLs and two different file formats, then that's not smart. Instead, if you're using, let's say, WebP images, just use that. If you're using PNG format, then just use that, knowing that's a URL that's going to be evaluated part of the web page Google rankings. Now, that is how you meant to approach image optimization. Make sure they load fast enough, because page load is important for user experience. At the end of the day, images serve a purpose, and that purpose is for you to provide the user experience as well as achieve higher conversions. And with all the latest changes that Google is making, it is better to have unique, original images above all else. You can use your smartphone to take images. In 2024, Google rankings will change. And if you do have images on your website, it's a great opportunity for you to search engine optimize them. I thank you for learning with RankYa, and I'll talk with you in the next video session.